to the Dogs of Endurance Racing here. We're going to be running 2 hours and 35 minutes, I believe, is what the correct time is. Should be pretty interesting here. They're running at Barber Motorsports Park. Various different combinations of cars here. A Cadillac. We'll run down through them here real quick because I'm not even sure. They are running all three of the rough cars today. Hold on. And the new car, can't even remember what it's called now. Man. And the Cadillac CTS. So we're seeing, this is one of the new ones right here that Matthew's running. It's the BMW race car. God, I can't even think of it. GT3, I believe, is what they call it. Some of these new ones, I haven't learned all the correct parts of them, but Okay, so qualifying time is over. These guys do finish their lap that they're on here. I guess they will start to take the grid. So let's get down trackside. Once they grid here, we'll get on the leader. Brian Herring on the pole with a 1:21.987 in the 2:01. Has not taken, let's see, has not taken the grid yet, no. Alright. Alright, starting on the outside of him, Kevin Smith in the 6:01. In third place, the 9:06 of Anchin, whoever that is. Darren Kuhn in fourth spot in the 4:05. Albin Norberg in the fifth spot in the 4:06. Lewis Van starting in sixth in the 9:12. Marcus Kramer starting seventh in the 2:03. In eighth, the 5:06 of Jeffrey Belk. In ninth, the 2:02 of Jimmy Eifling. Doug starting in 10th place in the 5:02. Matthew Bouiver, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, starting in the 11th spot in the 1:01. And Crusher taking up the rear of the field in the 7:01. All right, rolling off the grid here, getting ready to start this thing off, making their one pace lap around this huge facility here. Sorry folks, I'm just starting to get everything back in here. New track for me, a few new cars, so trying to get everything situated here so I'm comfortable for the whole race. So bear with me here folks, and I apologize. We will get this thing kicked off and rolling here though. 2.5 hours. That's why they call them the Endurance League. Very, very good bunch of folks. Good bunch of drivers. We're going to do a Trading Paints update here real quick. Make sure I do have everybody's paints. I don't want to miss anybody's paint schemes. A lot of these guys work very hard on their paint schemes, so I want to make sure that I do have them hooked up. Brian Herring bringing them around for this first lap. We will get underway here in just a minute. Pace car is off. Green flag is out and we are off and running here, folks. All right, already jumping out to a pretty good lead. Brian Herring in first place overall. In second spot, Kevin Smith. Albin Norbert trying to hang on in third. All right, running in fourth, Lewis Van. One of the new guys in the league here. I haven't seen him in here yet. Maybe he's been in for a while. I'm not sure. Just don't remember seeing him. Running in fourth. Darren Kuhn in fifth. Anshin running in sixth. Or eighth, I'm sorry. Jimmy Eifling, ninth. Dog running in 10th in the Cadillac CTS. Matthew back here in 11th. Crusher, don't see him on the track. Wonder what happened to Crusher. I don't know what happened to Crusher. Something happened to him. Anyhow, we'll get back up to our leader. Got about a 1.2 second lead over Kevin Smith now, and stretching that out. Down into the hairpin. Looks like pretty good here. These front three really running pretty tight together. About a second back to Albin Norbert from second place Kevin Smith. All right, looking back from Albin Norbert back to fourth place. We got 10.6 seconds back to Lewis Van. Quite a distance between them. back here, fourth place Lewis Van, about another 9.7 seconds back to Marcus Kramer. Jeffrey Belk back here in sixth place. Only about 7/10 of a second now ahead of seventh place. Ancient in seventh. Darren Kuhn back to eighth. And Jimmy Eifling running in ninth place. And about 9.8 seconds back, here comes Dog in the CTS Cadillac. Cadillac CTS, whatever you want to call it. Now mind yourself, these guys have been practicing pretty much all week and running these tracks here with these cars. So know the track very well, and that's going to help them. Doesn't help me as a cameraman, but it helps them. They're the ones out there turning the laps and racing, so. Back Matthew back in 11th now, and Crusher's still off the track. Don't know what happened to Crusher. Kind of unfortunate for him that I don't know if he dropped out, connection problems or what, but Brian Herring already starting to close in on these guys. Already starting to close up on Matthew to put him a lap down already. And I'll tell you what, Kevin Smith is hanging right there with Brian. Those two pretty evenly matched. Only about 2.3 seconds back now. Kevin may have slipped a little bit there, not sure. Let's run down through, see where everybody is running here. All right, Brian Herring leading the top of his class in the rough RT track. Kevin Smith also running in that in second. Ancient also in that class, and Darren Kuhn. So 4 of them in the rough RT class. All right, the BMW Z4, Albin Norbert, Lewis Van, Marcus Kramer, and Jeffrey Belk. Albin Norbert leading that class. In the Cadillac CTS, we've got Jimmy Eifling and Dog, both running the Cadillac CTS. Rough RT all-wheel drive, we've got Matthew and Crusher. Crusher not being on the track. Matthew already going a lap down. All right, so out of the 5 classes that they have been chosen today. It looks like nobody is running the rear wheel drive rough. So nobody in that class. We've only got 4 classes in the field. The rough all-wheel drive, the Cadillac CTS, the BMW, and the rough track. These guys running the track here, definitely dominating out front here at the moment. Brian Herring leading them. Just a few minutes into this race, about let's see, I believe about 13 minutes into the race is all we're in. So lots of racing to go here, folks. 2 hours and 35 minutes is the total length of this race, and this should be pretty good. This is what the Dogs of Endurance Racing is all about, running endurance racing. Brian definitely showing the way, pulling away by quite a little bit now. 4.5 seconds over Kevin Smith. And those two are in the same class, so that definitely shows how these guys are outclassing some of the rest of the field. Albin Norberg closing in on Kevin Smith here. Well, I'm not sure if he's closing or just kind of hanging there right now, but those two have been pretty close for pretty much the whole race so far. Albin Norberg running, let's see, he is running the BMW. One of 4 guys out here today running the BMW. Top of his class at the moment. Third overall. Albin Norberg. Let's go back to 4th place. Lewis Van running in 4th. And he is running the BMW as well. So those two pretty tight together. Oh, and Lewis gets loose coming off the turn. Hits a wall of ton. We were right there when it happened. Holy smokes. Let's go back here and take a quick look at this. very disheartening for Lewis. Man, I feel bad for him. Getting loose off the turn and just really tearing it up. Right there, getting loose. Oh, man. Gonna do a lot of damage on that car. Gonna have to tow it down on pit road and get that thing fixed up. So Lewis Van off the track. Gonna cost him quite a few positions on the track. Albin Norberg here in fourth. A lot of these guys passing him up now. And all right, Marcus Kramer going to pass him up. Going to go into the fourth place, excuse me, overall. Jeffrey Belk right there in fifth. Jeffrey Belk running the BMW as well. In sixth. Now Jimmy Eifling moving up to seventh. Anshin running the rough. Jimmy Eifling back here running the Cadillac CTS. All right, let's go back to eighth place. Oh, excuse me, Darren passed him up. So Darren moving into the seventh place here. Once they cross the line, that'll show him in seventh. All right, Dog back here in ninth right now. Already a lap down overall. That puts Lewis Van back in 10th, sitting on pit road, trying to get that damage fixed up. Matthew now in 11th, and we may have somebody else off of the pace. Somebody else on pit road. That would be Jeffrey Belk. Jeffrey Belk on pit road. Let's go back here and see what happened to Jeffrey. Oh, what happened to Jeffrey? Wow. He may have had some connection problems or something there. Not sure exactly, but man, what a lick Jeffrey took. Holy smokes. Don't know if he had connection problems, wheel come unplugged, or man, something happened there. Very unfortunate for some of these guys. Man, oh man. Puts Belk clear back to the 9th position so far. Still sitting on pit road trying to get some of that damage fixed up. Meanwhile, let's get back up to our leader here. Brian Herring still dominating here. Almost 9 seconds ahead of Albin Norberg now in second place. Albin finally did get past Kevin Smith. Kevin back here in third. On Jimmy Eifling in the Cadillac CTS, passing very clean. Ooh, Kevin getting a little bit off track right there, but Marcus Kramer in the BMW, back here in fourth. Quite a ways ahead of Anshin. Anshin back here in fifth. Darren Kuhn in sixth. And these are overall, these are not by class. Darren running the rough. Jimmy Eifling running the Cadillac CTS, now into seventh place. 2 laps down to our leader, but still out here 42 seconds ahead of Dog, running in the 8th spot now in the Cadillac CTS as well. Dog second in his class. Matthew back here in 9th. Jeffrey Belk in let's see, no, he wouldn't be the next one because Lewis Van just passed Jeffrey Belk for the 10th position, so Belk going to be last on the field, but he is still sitting on pit road trying to get that damage fixed up from, we don't know what happened to him. We'll try to get a word in with him after the race today and find out exactly what happened. And boy, it just looked like something come unplugged or unhooked or something. He just went right into the wall. Matter of fact, right there is where he went into the wall. Right where Matthew went by, right there is where he went into the wall. Man, that was pretty treacherous right there, I'm telling you what. All right, Lewis Van back out on the track now in the 10th spot. We will go back and check on him out here in the BMW. After getting spun there a few laps into it, and here he is back out here running in the 10th, 3 laps down overall. And let's see, he is running second, actually third in his class right now. Albin Norberg first in his class, Marcus Kramer second, and Lewis Van in third. It looks like he did get pretty much all that damage fixed up on that car. It don't look that bad. At least the rear wing's pretty well intact, so the handling part should be pretty good as long as it didn't knock the toe out too bad. But he took a heck of a spill there too. So got a little nose damage on it. And Jeffrey Belk's still sitting on pit road. Boy, he had a ton of damage on that car. He took a heck of a lick on that. Man, I'm telling you. Kind of felt bad for him. Hopefully he's okay. We'll get back up to our leader here real quick, check in with him. Brian Herring just seems to be on a rail out here today. Cannot make a mistake. We haven't seen him make one yet. .6 seconds back to Albin Norberg. Albin back here running the BMW, top of his class. All right, Kevin Smith in third overall. Kevin running the rough, I believe. I think he is running the rough. Doing real well here in third spot. The dog, I like the camera pack. So far, I got no complaints, buddy. I just made a couple little minor adjustments on it, so it's not kind of like looking at the wheel. All you see is the wheel in the picture. But for the most part, pretty good. We got Anchin off of the track. Let's take a wander back here and see what happened to him. If we can't figure out what happened to him, it'll look like he may have gotten loose coming off one of the turns. Hopefully he didn't hit that wall too awful hard. Those guardrails around there are not very forgiving. They don't give an inch. They don't have those safer barriers here on these road course races. Oh, he just spins it out. Not sure exactly what happened. It looked like he didn't hit anything. So that's the main thing. Did not hit anything. All right, he's back up and running again. Didn't lose any spots, so that's a good thing. But it did afford Darren to close up on him. Darren just right behind him here. Not far back. Darren running the rough as well. Third in his class in the rough. Jimmy Eifling back here in the Cadillac CTS, top of his class right now. Him and Dog, the only ones in that class. And Dog not far behind, 51 seconds behind him, but hanging in there. Dog having a pretty good day. Dog came out of here with a great finish last week. if I remember correctly, I think it was like 4th overall. Finished like 2nd in his class or something. But great finish for Dog. Man, what a comeback. Staying out there, staying with it. And that's what it takes. It's not about if your lap's down or anything like that. You're running against other cars in your class. Other cars in your class. Boy, these three all right tight together here. Well, just to report, Jeffrey Belk's still on pit road trying to get that damage fixed up. We still don't know what happened to Crusher. It looks like he may have just turned a lap and something happened. I don't know. We will hopefully get a chance to talk to Crusher or find out from Dog or somebody what happened to him. All right, Lewis Van back here in 9th. And Matthew back here in 10th. So Matthew, looks like Matthew's he's driving like I do. He's kind of taking it a little easy, man. You want to finish this race and have no incidents, but I believe Matthew is out here the only one in his class. I'm going to go take a look here real quick. Well, him and Crusher were in this class together. They were in the rough all-wheel drive class together, but Matthew now leading it. Crusher, for whatever reason, is off the track. So Matthew definitely going to win his class. Jimmy Eifling leading his class in the Cadillac CTS. Alvin Norberg still leading his class in the BMW. And Brian Herring still leading his class, 21 seconds ahead of Kevin Smith, second in his class. And they're running the rough track. That's just the name of the car, the rough track. They have the track, the all-wheel drive, and the rear-wheel drive. They're all the rough, but each of them different driving experience altogether. Track is more set up for the road courses, obviously. The all-wheel drive, all four wheels got power, and the rear-wheel drive is just rear drive only. All right, so Brian Herring still up front. Ride along with Brian here for just a little while and watch him turn some great laps. A little less than 2 hours left in this race, so they've been running about 36 minutes right now. This is all about endurance. Got 2.5 hours to run out here. This is going to be a long one, folks. I'd like to thank you for joining me here on MaxSpeedTV YouTube. Watching the Dogs of Endurance out here running at Barber Motorsports Park. Running 2 hours and 35 minutes. So that's what makes the Dogs of Endurance an endurance league. Total concentration it takes here, making sure that you do hit your marks every time. You know, so many turns and corners, not a whole bunch of straightaways, and definitely got to stay focused. Albin Norberg back here in second in the BMW. Running about 16.5 seconds behind our leader, Brian Herring. Top of his class in the BMW. Okay, we've had a couple of guys that have pitted. Looks like Anshin on pit road. Well, let's go back here and check on Anshin. He's sitting on pit road. And looks like one other one had been on pit road. Kevin Smith was on pit road as well. But he is back off of pit road now, running in fourth actually. Once he crosses the line, he'll be scored as fourth. But he come on pit road, looked like he might have been on pit road just a little early. But that put Marcus Kramer ahead of him. Now Marcus Kramer third overall, second in his class, running in BMW. Darren in fifth. We haven't talked a whole lot about him today. Boy, does he ever have a dirty windshield. That really makes it hard for these guys to see, too. The dirtier that windshield gets, man, I'm telling you. They try to make it as realistic as possible, and I'll tell you what, they've done a pretty good job of it. It is pretty realistic, I gotta admit. All right, Jimmy Eifling in sixth overall in the Cadillac CTS, top of his class. Him and Dog running the Cadillacs today. They're running 6th and 7th. Looks like we've got another one may have been on pit road. Lewis Van back on pit road. Looks like Jeffrey Belk back out on the track. Yay! Back and check on Jeffrey here. Still got a lot of damage on that car, but back out there running. It's going to be a long race, Jeffrey, with a car tore up like that. Jeffrey running fourth in his class. And he's running the BMW today. Might have a whole different outlook about them BMWs after today. We've seen a couple of them slip there a little bit. But he's okay. Still back out there running. All right, Matthew up here running the rough. Running in the 10th spot. Albin Norberg passing him up. That would have been second place. Only 2 cars left on the lead lap. That's Brian Herring and Albin Norberg. Albin is now 15.9 seconds behind Brian Herring. That's overall. They're not even in the same class. All right, Matthew on pit road. Not sure if that was a scheduled pit stop or not. All right, Ancient in 9th. Dog in 8th now, as Lewis Van got past him, and that was 4th position. So Lewis Van starting to climb the ladder back up. Oh, he's spun. Let's go back and take a look at that and see what happened to Lewis Van. Got an off track there. He had to slow up because he got an off track. That's what happened. Okay, so he's okay then. Running in 7th though, doing a great job. Jimmy Eifling in 6th. Cadillac CTS, top of his class. Him and Dog in the same class together with the Cadillacs today. And Jimmy has been out there quite a while now. Him and Dog still on the same lap, but Jimmy quite a bit ahead of Dog. Jimmy in 6th and Dog in 7th. Up here in 5th, running the rough today. Second in his class. Marcus Kramer now back to 4th place as Kevin Smith got back by Marcus. I didn't see what happened to Marcus. He may have slipped off track or something there and wound up letting Kevin Smith back by him. You can see Kevin right ahead of him. Kevin comes up on Matthew and pushes Matthew down. Matthew already laps down, but a good clean pass. All right, hour and 50 minutes left to go here, folks. Lots of racing left to come. Albin Norberg still up here chasing our leader, 16.5 seconds still. So he is hanging right there pretty good with our leader, Brian Herring. I think if he was up there close to Brian, him and Brian would probably be having a very good race around each other. Albin running the top of his class today in the BMW. Showing the BMWs do have it here. Just got to know how to drive them, right? Albin, he sure does know how to drive these things. I gotta say, man, he's a very good racer. As he goes by Matthew as well. I think that's a couple times I've seen him passing Matthew. leader just on a rail up here. Brian Herring. Brian Herring, I believe, let's take a look here. Brian Herring running the rough track. So definitely top of his class out here, showing what them roughs are made of today. And it looks like Anchin may be off track. Looks like he might have fell out of the server, not sure. He may be back, I don't know. Gets that connection fixed, he may be back. Alvin Norberg still hanging on there, about 16.4 seconds behind our leader. So boy, I'll tell you what, our leader better not make a mistake. Albin Norberg will be all over you. Albin definitely top of his class today. Kevin Smith running in third. He's running the rough as well. So the roughs are pretty fast. I believe he's running the track also. Oh, he gets a little loose right there. Hits the gas just a little too early and gets squirrely. Hit the gas too early, gets squirrely. All right. Marcus Kramer having a good day here in the BMW, running fourth. Him and looked like him and Kevin Smith were racing around each other quite a bit. So them two already only 6.5 seconds behind Kevin Smith. So he's definitely losing ground to Kevin. But Marcus still hanging in there in the BMW. Fourth place. I was just trying a different camera out. Some of these cameras that they give you for this track really aren't very good. And I'm going to have to go back here and make some adjustments and make my own camera pack. But I've been using dogs here and it's pretty good. It's not too bad. I like it. Lewis Van working up here toward the front. Has picked up quite a few positions after coming back after that spin. Worked himself clear back up into the 7th overall. But he is third in his class. Third in his class today in the BMW. All right, Jimmy Eifling in 6th. Jimmy now gaining a lap on Dog. Dog slipped back. He is 4 laps down to the leader now, but second in his class to Jimmy Eichler. Jimmy just got done passing him, so that puts him 1 lap better to the field. Seconds back to Albin Norberg from our leader. So Herring's starting to pull away from Albin. Them 2 are the only 2 left on the lead lap at the moment here, and they're both in different classes, both leading their classes. So Brian here leading in the rough track. Has led all the laps so far today. And Albin Norberg now in second, leading his class in the BMW. Kevin Smith running in third in the rough track as well, second in his class. So we've got a pretty good mixture here for the front 5. We're mixed up quite well. Actually, front 6. Dog giving plenty of room for our leader to get by. All right, we're coming up to about an hour into this race already. Hard to believe it's been an hour already because it's been pretty exciting. Kind of good to watch guys that really know how to turn laps at these tracks run so well. And it's pretty amazing. Albin Norberg showing how to get around there in that new car, BMW. A lot of folks haven't really had much of a chance to test this car out and drive it, but Albin working it up and doing a great job of it. All right, Kevin Smith, second in his class in the rough track. Kevin having a pretty good day out here too. Second in his class, couple laps down behind the leader, but still running in third spot overall. Marcus Kramer in fourth. So let's go back here to Matthew Bouvier. I think is how you say it, Bouvier. French. He is French. Talked to Matthew last week there, and pretty good young man. Pretty good young man, yes. All right, he's giving plenty of room to some of these guys that are faster than him to get by him. I think Matthew is running the all-wheel drive rough today. And right now, he is the only one out there running in his class. Crusher was in that class as well, but Crusher not in it. So Matthew definitely the leader in his class right here. Going to come home the winner of his class today. Oh, we got one off of the track there. Let's take a look. That would have been Lewis Van. Well, let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Lewis Van. Just getting loose and coming around right in front of another car there. Don't know who that was. That would have been Marcus Kramer running in fourth. So Marcus just ever so slightly tapping him on that. So good save by Marcus, not hitting him very hard. Take a look here at the front of his car. Just very, very little damage on that car at all. Oh, not his. We wanted to look at Marcus's. Yeah, no damage on Marcus's. I mean, it was just barely a bump. I don't even see any splitter damage or anything on that car, so hopefully he doesn't have anything that's causing any effects of that Kevin Smith. Let's take a wander back. Kevin's way off the pace here. Let's go back and check out what happened to Kevin. Well, we need to go back further than that, I think. Kevin already got more damage on that car. Was running in third, now he's back to fourth, so I don't know what happened to Kevin. Looks like he may have spun off track. I can't catch it in the replay for some reason. He is really having a hard time driving that car right now, and if he's not careful, he's going to get a ton of off-road incidents. Boy, he is really struggling with some steering problems. Trying to get it back underway, but tell you what we'll do, let's ride along in the cockpit with him and see the steering problems he is having right now. He is really, really having a hard time. It has really knocked the toe out of that thing a ton. Okay, and he is coming down pit road. Oh, no! So he is really struggling with some steering problems. So Kevin Smith off the pace here, folks. About an hour and 35 minutes left in the race, and he is really struggling right now. He's getting that thing, all four tires changed on that thing. Topping it off with fuel and going to try to get some damage fixed up on it as well. So, all right, Marcus Kramer back up in the front. In third spot here, let's see, third overall. Third overall, but second in his class in the BMW. And Albin Norberg now takes over the lead. Holy moly, I missed that. Brian Herring, looks like Brian did stop for his pit stop. needed fuel, tires, whatever. And I missed that one as we were watching there earlier to see what was going on with Kevin Smith. Now Kevin's going to fall all the way back to the 4th position, but he's still on pit road getting damage fixed. And Marcus Kramer now in 3rd in the BMW. So, well, what I wanted to get up here was Albin Norberg out in the lead. Look at this. 42 seconds ahead of Brian Herring. What a change here. Albin and I are trying to stretch that lead out, but you know, Brian Herring, as fast as he was, it was pretty hard for Brian Herring to catch him. So quite a bit of a change up here with some of these drivers. Now as Kevin Smith goes all the way back to the 7th place. All right, as Brian Herring made his pit, he's back here in 2nd, 42.5 seconds behind Albin Norberg, but still 70 seconds, which is more than a lap ahead of 3rd place, Marcus Kramer. Mark is probably wanting to get on pit road here before too much longer and get that windshield clean. Running the BMW today, 2nd in his class to Albin Norberg. Darren on pit road, giving up that 4th spot. All 4 tires going on that car. Jimmy Eifling coming down pit road as well, giving up the top spot of his class there. Actually, he's running the Cadillac CTS, and he is actually 2 laps ahead, I believe, of Dog. Or no, 1 lap ahead of Dog. So I don't think he'll lose a position. He may lose a position to... No, he won't lose a position. Dog hasn't been on pit road yet either. Yeah, Dog's still out here running in the 8th position. He will be scored a 7th once he crosses the line, because he will pass up Kevin Smith. And Matthew's still running in the 9th place here. He's running the rough all-wheel drive out here today. Not the fastest of the roughs, but I think I could drive these. All 4 wheels drive that thing instead of just 2. All right, then running Jeffrey Belk out here in 10th. He had all that damage from that spin there earlier, and running in the 10th spot right now, but he's still out there running and actually picked up another position from Anshin. Anshin off the track. I lost connection or something. Definitely out of the race. So that puts 2 of them out of the race. Crusher and Anshin. So now 10 cars left in the race. Jeffrey Belk taking up the rear of the field with a lot of damage on that car. And he ran up in the front pretty much most part of the race, or I believe up in about 3rd. And just losing it coming out of the turns, and that's all it takes here. You don't stay focused, and But he hit that outside wall there a ton. That guardrail, man, I'm telling you what, that was pretty intense. Let's get up to our leader, Brian Herring, back in the lead as Albin Norberg come on pit road. That puts Brian Herring back up in the lead now. Albin Norberg back off of pit road. We'll take up that second spot right where he left off. Going to be quite a ways ahead of third place, but 3 of them on the lead lap now. Marcus Kramer back on the lead lap. Let's go back here and check on Albin Norberg. As he's been on pit road, these guys probably going to still have to hit pit road one more time, I believe, to finish this thing. He comes up on Darren Kuhn, and Darren gives him plenty of room to get by. Great job by Darren. Haven't talked a bunch about Darren today, so I wanted to kind of he's actually been running really well back here in 5th spot. Hanging right with Albin Norberg. Darren running in, let's see, he's running 2nd in his class in the rough. Jimmy Eifling, top of his class in the Cadillac CTS, running in 6th place. Man, he's doing a great job out here today. Jimmy always does, though. I always watch Jimmy run, and one of my favorites out here. Not taking anything away from anybody else. Jimmy's just one of my favorites, and he seems like week after week, no matter what he runs, he's usually in the top of his class or about there. So he's another one of them steady Eddie drivers. He knows how to get around here, and he does a great job. Excuse me for 1 minute, I got to step away and I will be right back. Alvin Norberg still in second. Top of his class in the BMW. Showing what the BMW's got here today. Brand new car here in iRacing, and these guys, from what I'm hearing, a lot of folks really like this car. They're saying it's really easy to drive, so I don't know. I haven't really had that much experience with it yet. Marcus Kramer in third in the BMW as well, second in his class. Fourth place, Lewis Van. Look at this. Lewis has got himself back up into fourth overall, still third in his class, but fourth overall in the BMW. So the BMW is really running well here today. Darren Kuhn back here in fifth. He is running the rough. Jimmy Eifling in the Cadillac CTS in sixth. Dog in seventh in the Cadillac CTS, second in his class. Jimmy Eifling being the first in his class. Kevin Smith back out there after, we don't know what happened to Kevin. Man, oh man, that thing really took a step out on him, and it just never did drive right after that. Had to make a pit stop, but he's back up running in eighth. Trying to make up some of them positions he lost. He was up there in second and third for pretty much most of the beginning of the race, and here he is now running back in eighth position. Matthew still in 10th, or 9th, I mean, sorry, my bad. Jeffrey Belk in 10th, and back out on the track. Anshin must have got his internet or whatever happened there figured out, running in the 11th spot now. Well, good to see him back out there. Anyhow, he's going to try to maybe pick up a few positions, or, well, I don't know. He's quite a few laps down behind Jeffrey Belk in 10th. Alvin Norberg getting by him. Alvin running in second place overall, top of his class. Anshin giving him plenty of room to get by. Albin now 38 seconds behind our leader, Brian Herring. They both have made one pit stop. All right, let's go back to third here. Marcus Kramer still running in third. Second in his class to Albin Norberg. Running in the BMW today. So 3 of them running in, 4 of them running in the BMW. I take that back. Jeffrey Belk as well, but Jeffrey way back in 10th after having some mishap there. But these front 3 here, Albin Norberg, Marcus Kramer, and Louis Van, all running 2nd, 3rd, 4th overall. And that's their order, 1, 2, 3. Albin Norberg, top of his class, Marcus Kramer 2nd, Louis Van 3rd. Back here in 5th spot. 2nd in his class, Brian Herring, top of his class in the rough. And Darren running 2nd in his class in the rough as well. Cadillac CTS running in 6th overall, top of his class, doing a great job out here in the Cadillac CTS. This is the kind of racing that these cars are made for. Dog running 7th overall. Dog having a good day too. 2nd in his class. Him and Jimmy are the only ones out here running the Cadillac CTS today. Dog's the one that owns this league, puts on these events, and he does a great job with it, I'll tell you that. He manages all the points and the tracks, the cars. He even made this camera pack for me, and man, I'll tell you, he did an awesome job with it. Looks like our leader may be coming up on him pretty quick here, Brian Herring. Well, let's go check on Brian. He's led all these laps. I'm not sure, that might not have been Brian. No, it wasn't Brian. Kind of hard to see sometimes. Some of these cars look, the paint schemes look similar, the car design looks similar, but it wasn't Brian. Albin Norberg in 2nd. Let's run back through the field here real quick. Top of his class in the BMW. In 2nd, or in 3rd overall, Marcus Kramer 2nd in his class in the BMW. All right. In 4th overall, 3rd in his class in the BMW to Louis Van. Darren Kuhn up here running the rough. He is 2nd in his class to Brian Herring, running 5th overall. Jimmy Eifling, top of his class in the Cadillac CTS, running 6th overall. Dog running 7th overall. 2nd in his class in the Cadillac CTS. Oh, and Kevin Smith off the track again. Let's take a wander back here and look and see what happened to Kevin. Still having some steering issues, maybe. Pushing that thing. Oh, it takes him way off the track and he hit the wall. So Kevin Smith really still not having a very good day out here today. And that puts him on pit road. It looks like maybe Kevin Smith may have called it quits for the day. Matthew on pit road. It looks like a scheduled pit stop for him. Haven't seen him make too awful many mistakes today. Running 9th overall. Top of his class in the rough all-wheel drive. The only one. Crusher was in that, but he is off the race now. Anshin back off the track. So, and I don't know. We may have some other guys off the track as well here, but Jeffrey Belk back here in 10th, and he is 4th in his class. The BMW way back here, as you can see, he has got a ton of damage. That's got to be pretty rough for him to look out the windshield and see all that damage on the hood of that thing. But, still running 4th in his class, 10th overall. And from there on back, the guys are off. Anshin was running at 11th, and he's off the track. He had came back, but he's back off the track again, so Crusher off the track as well. 10 racers out here. Coming down to an hour left here, folks, and we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Alright, we are back. Sorry about that, folks. Needed just a quick little break here. Watching Albin Norberg lead up here. He has led all but about 5 laps of this race. Albin Norberg led a few laps, as he is, Albin's now 40 seconds behind our leader. Top of his class in the BMW, though, so the BMW is really showing some muscle here today. Brand new car and iRacing, and I think the guys are pretty impressed with how it handles out here. We'll talk to Albin after the race here, hopefully. get a word in with him and ask him how that car felt out there for him today. Coming down to an hour left in this race here, folks. All right, Marcus Kramer back here in third spot, still doing a great job, second in his class in the BMW. Looking good, Marcus. And Lewis Van, the one that we've been watching him pretty much most of the race. I'll tell you what, he come back from spinning out there and had a lot of damage, had to sit on pit road. Here he is 3 laps down and got himself worked all the way back up to 4th place overall. That's amazing. He's still 3rd in his class and quite a bit back, but running really, really well. You can still see some battle scars from that spin. Fifth place, Darren Kuhn, second in his class in the rough, running 5th overall. Jimmy Eichling, Cadillac CTS, top of his class today. Him and Doug both running the Cadillac. Doug running actually right behind him in 7th, but there's a lap separating. Jimmy is 6 laps down and Dog is 7 laps down, so there's a lap separating them two. But both of them having a really good race today. Showing what them Cadillacs are all about out there, because they are pretty good on these road courses. Gotta admit. All right, let's go back here to 8th place. Matthew, which is, or Kevin Smith, I'm sorry, Kevin Smith not on the track. But Matthew did pass him up for that position. He just has not crossed the line yet. Matthew taking up that position from him. He will move into the 8th spot. Jeffrey Belk will move into the 9th, probably before the end of the race. But we're coming up on to 1 hour to go here, folks. You're watching the Dogs of Endurance Racing here today on MaxSpeedTV YouTube. Thank you for joining us. This has been a very, very good race. Fun for these guys. 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 35 minutes to be exact. We've had 4 different class cars out on the track. There was 5 scheduled, but nobody ran the one class. I think it was the rough rear-wheel drive. Nobody ran that. There was a few that ran the all-wheel and the rough track, which the rough track is what Brian Herring's running, and Brian Herring is definitely hooked up and running up in the top spot today. He has led all but 5 laps. Albin Nuremberg in second. Only other one that's led any laps today. He's led 5 laps out on the track today. As when Brian Herring pitted, kind of gave Albin the point. And then when Albin pitted, Brian got it back. So that's how close they were running on the track. They were running only about 30 seconds apart. And takes you that long to get in and off of pit road, make your pit stop. But I believe we're going to see one more pit stop here today by these leaders. Front 3 have only been on pit road one time. Like Kevin Smith has taken his car behind pit road, so we're down to 9 cars left on the track. Marcus Kramer in third in the BMW. The BMW is running really well here today, but no match for Brian Herring out there in the front in that rough. Running a rough track today, and man, I'm telling you what, he has hooked up with that car and just been driving away from this field. He's got a 42-second lead over Albin Nuremberg, and he's already got third place Marcus Kramer here, put down 3 laps. Or 2 laps. Lewis Van on pit road, running in 4th. He is 3rd in his class, and on pit road, it looks like he may have a little damage on that, but I think this is a scheduled pit stop for Lewis. Darren Kuhn back here in 5th. The only one in his class out here today running the... I'm sorry. No, my bad. He is running 2nd in his class. To Brian Herring. Brian Herring up there in the front in the rough track as well. So I was thinking of Matthew Boivier. Matthew Boivier is the only one out there running the I gotta think. Go back here to Matthew. He's running the rough all-wheel drive today. So, and I'll tell you what, just to make sure that we're going to go double check on that to make sure that I do have that correct. I don't want to be saying that and it's not true. Yes, he is running the all-wheel drive rough RT. Crusher is off out of the race, so Matthew's going to come home the winner today in his class. No matter what, he'll come home the winner. So good job by Matthew, running 8th overall. That's a pretty good feat out there. But I hate to say this, but Jeffrey Belk, running in 9th, is starting to close up on him. He's about a lap down. I don't know if there's enough race left for him to get a whole lap back, but Jeffrey Belk could pass him, and that could put Matthew back to the 9th place. Jeffrey out here dealing with a pretty tore up car. I don't know how he's driving that thing, as much damage as it's got on it, but he's wheeling around here, and that's what it takes. These guys don't give up, man. They're good racers. And, you know, they don't give up in real life. You got a tore up car, you get out there and run it. Every position is a point, you know, and that's the thing you got to think about when you're out there racing. Unless that thing is just so tore up you can't drive it, you got to get back out there and race it. Unless you know there's just no way you can gain another position. It's just, you know, too ill handling your danger out on the track to the other drivers. Jeffrey seems to be hooking up pretty good. Jeffrey running 4th in his class in the BMW, way back here in 9th place overall. All of his fellow BMWers are up there 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Let's get back up here to Lewis Van as he's off pit road now and back out here running. He has a little bit of damage as well, but doesn't seem to be bothering him too much. He's up here running in 4th, 3rd in his class, but 4th overall. Marcus Kramer, man, Marcus has been really running a great race out here today. 3rd place overall and 2nd in his class. The one that's really, well, I can't say impressed me because I don't expect any less of the guy, Albin Norberg, up here in 2nd place in the BMW. No matter what car he runs, he just runs well at it. And, but he's chasing a pretty tough customer up there in front, Brian Herring. Brian, man, definitely one of the premier drivers here. We'll go up and follow along with Brian here for a lap or two and see how he's running while I clean these dirty glasses of mine. I got to be able to see these numbers on these cars and stuff, you know. Well, first time that I have seen a race ran on this track. Matter of fact, I just purchased it here last week, I think it was. Yeah, when Dog told me they were going to be running here at Barber Motorsports Park, I went and purchased the track right away, and he gave me this camera pack, and he did a great job creating this camera pack. So thank you for that, Dog. Great job. We have one of his I have one of his commercials, but I went in there to get it, and there were so many different ones in there. I don't even know. I just said 17. I don't think there were that many, but probably 5 or 6. I don't know which one it was. So, but we do have a new trailer for him for the Dogs of I Racing, and or Dogs of Endurance Racing, excuse me. And I will have that ready for us for next week. I've been dealing with a few ill things going on in my life, so man, I'll tell you, it's just life's just dealing me a bad deck of cards here. I'll tell you, a lot of bad things. Health-wise, I mean. Funny how a person can deal with a lot of things in their life, but when it comes to your health, man, it just really tears you up. All right, 53 minutes left in this race, and Brian Herring still out front. Haven't seen him make a mistake yet today. And another one, too, Albin Norberg. I haven't seen him make a mistake either. I don't know if they've maybe got an off track or something here or there, but other than that, them two have been just running a flawless race. Marcus Kramer, another one, I haven't seen him make any mistakes today. He almost got taken out there when a car spun in front of him, but barely bumped it, did no damage to his car. You can see the front end's as clean as it was when he started the race. And very good. I don't even know if he even got an incident out of it. It was such a light tap. 4th place, Lewis Van. Now, he had spun there once, but I'm telling you what, he is on a rail out here. He's got that car, however much damage is on it, he's got it figured out how to handle it. Let's ride along with him in the cockpit view and see how his steering is. Steering seems to be good. So his toe's not knocked out or anything, so it seems to be steering good for him. Seems to be negotiating the turns very well. Car seems to be good and responsive. So that's a good thing. Lewis, one of the new guys here at Dogs of Endurance Racing, and out here showing his stuff, running in fourth, third in his class, fourth overall. So that's a good thing. I kind of go by that a little bit, where their position on the track. I know it really doesn't mean that much, but I kind of go with that a little bit. And he is really running well. So. Doing a great job out there, Lewis is. Darren there actually behind Lewis, and that is for position too. If he catches up to Lewis, that is for position, because they are on the same lap, I believe. Yeah. So we will keep an eye on that battle. That's about the only battle for position on the track. Overall position, let me remind you of that. Darren out here running top of his class in the rough. I'm sorry, man, I keep doing that. Second in his class, I'm sorry, Brian Herring, top of his class. But Darren putting on a pretty good show out here, but he could pick up a position if he can catch up to Lewis Van. Well, let's go up here and see, watch the comparison here for a bit, and see how this see Darren kind of closing in on him a little bit here and there, and like I said, that's for overall position on the track, not for class. There's parts of the track that Lewis is faster and parts of the track that Darren's faster, but the whole time these guys got to be very careful not to get this thing out of shape. Get that thing out of shape and get it spun off the track. Oh, right there, you've seen Darren spinning it off of the track. Well, let's go back and take a look at this. And he just hooked it right there and spun it out. So very unfortunate for Darren. He did not need that. He was closing in on Lewis Van there, and that would have been for overall position on track. But he's still running second in his class, so that's very good for Darren. He is back underway here and running good now. Didn't hit anything, and that's the key factor right there. Don't hit anything to do any damage on that car. Take a look at the front of his car. Yeah, no damage on it, so that's very good. All right, Jimmy Eifling still 6th overall, but top of his class in the Cadillac CTS. Jimmy, as always, puts on a great show out here, and I don't think he's got any damage on that car. I don't even know if he's got any incidents in off tracks or anything like that, because he has just been running a perfectly smooth race here. Dog, another one, 2nd in his class in the Cadillac CTS. He's been running a pretty good race himself, so my hat's off to you, brother. Good job out there today. Had a good week last week, and I think he's going to back it up with another good run, a good strong run here at Barber Motorsports Park. Say that real fast, Barber Motorsports Park. Say that real fast 3 times. We got somebody was coming down pit road. Let me see who that was. I think that was Jeffrey Belk, maybe. I think that was Jeffrey Belk. Let's go back and check. He may be coming down to get service done on that car. This could be his last pit stop of the day. Well, boy, these camera angles, these camera angles are terrible. Not on yours, dog. On the iRacing ones, I was trying to find a good one here that didn't change. But Jeffrey Belk on pit road. I believe he might be going to try to get a little more damage fixed up on that thing. He did pass up Matthew for the 8th position overall, but now Matthew's passed him back up. And believe it or not, this is 18 times Jeffrey Belk has been on pit road, but he's away now. All right, back under power, back out onto the track. And I believe that was right in front of Lewis Van. Lewis Van going to be passing him up. Not for position, just passing him up on the track. 44 minutes and 40 seconds left in the race here, folks. Glad you could join us here on a Sunday afternoon for the Dogs of Endurance Racing here on MaxSpeedTV YouTube. Glad you could join us. If you want to check out our website, we do broadcast 6 nights a week. Looking for somebody to broadcast for on Saturday nights, but we'll find somebody. I got a couple things in the works. Anyhow, check out our website at MaxSpeedTV.com, or you can follow us on MaxSpeedTV, Facebook, Facebook.com/MaxSpeedTV. I post all the videos and stuff up on there if you don't catch them on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/MaxSpeedTV1. Just type that in your web browser and that'll take you right to the YouTube page. Make sure you do click that subscribe button. We are talking about maybe having another drawing here. We had one a few months ago and that went real well. We're talking about having another one here because we're creeping up on the 400 subscriber mark, and when we do reach that 400 subscriber mark, we may have another drawing. The last drawing we had was for $50, and I believe Stephen Hollingsworth won that drawing. We do the drawing live right here where you can see it, can't miss it. Everybody's name into a hat, all the subscribers' names into a hat, and we draw it out. And we have 24 hours to get a hold of you, or you get a hold of us. And if we don't, then it goes to the second person that we draw, and so forth. We go on down to about 5. If you don't contact anybody in them 5, then we save that money, and we'll put it in a pot for the next drawing that we have when we reach 500. Just so you know, we do have that for our subscribers, so make sure you click that subscribe button. We appreciate all of you guys subscribing to our channel here. We do all iRacing events here 6 nights a week live on YouTube in 1080p HD. One of the very few out there that do broadcast to YouTube that broadcast in 1080p HD. Very few of them. Marcus Kramer still running in 3rd, 2nd in his class. In the BMW today, BMW is really running well here today. I'm impressed with how well they're driving. Al Alban Norberg in second in the BMW overall, top of his class in the BMW. Man, he is really running well today. I am so proud of Alban. They do run every Sunday. We'll show you the schedule here real quick, and you can decide what you want to run in. They run the Ridgeback Series. That's on Saturdays. They run the Sophie Series. That's on Sundays. But they've changed this because now it's a 2.5 hours. So I think they've swapped them around a little bit. And then they run the other series Sunday night tonight at 6 o'clock Mountain. I believe that's 8 o'clock Eastern. So tune in tonight. I won't be broadcasting this, but they will be racing it. This series here is the only one that I do broadcast at present time. Lewis still hanging in there in fourth. Darren Kuhn in fifth. Darren second in his class to Brian Herring in the rough track. Running the track version of the rough. Jimmy Eifling now on pit road. And it looks like Matthew's on pit road as well. This could be their last pit stop of the day. Jimmy is away now. Jimmy has led his class, running 6th overall, top in his class in the Cadillac CTS. Jimmy just been running a flawless race here today. I haven't seen him make too many mistakes, if any. Gets that thing off pit road, gets it wound back up to speed. Gonna have to get a little heat in them tires. Might be a little slick at first. I've noticed that about pretty much all the cars. After you get about 2 or 3 laps on them here on road courses, then you start getting a little heat build up in them tires. Get a little bit more grip with them. Jimmy's car just not up to snuff here, not sounding right. Not sure what's going on with Jimmy's car. Maybe having some issues with it, I'm not sure. Thing sounds like it's only running on about 7 cylinders. Dog back here in 7th overall, running 2nd in his class to Jimmy Eifling. About a lap separating them two. Back here in 8th, Jeffrey Belk has got himself back into the 8th position now. As Matthew, that's 8th overall, I'm sorry, 4th in his class. He took quite a tumble there at the beginning of the race. He hit the outside wall a ton, and he was running real well up until that point. He was running like 2nd or 3rd, I believe, when that happened. 3rd, I think, when that happened. So took a heck of a tumble. Not sure. We'll talk. Hopefully, we get a chance to talk to him later. Don't look like we got any viewers out there today. Nobody watching. Great job for Jeffrey up there running. Alvin Norberg still running 2nd, top of his class, but 2nd overall. And Brian Herring dominating out here today. Dominating in the rough. He's running the rough track model. They make 3 different. They make the track version, which is one he's running. They make the all-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive. And I believe this is pretty much Brian's favorite here because he has been hooked up today and running really well. He led 80 laps out of the 85 that's been turned. And we're coming down to the 30-minute mark left in this race, folks. Nobody watching today. Doggone it. Well, there is a lot of activity going on. The real NASCAR race is on today, which as soon as this is over, I'm going to go try to watch the rest of it. They're running at Talladega, Alabama today, and it's a beautiful day in Alabama. Probably about 85, 90 degrees. Going to be a hot one. And got to root for my team, my favorite, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Like to see him win. Let's go back here and check on, wanted to check on Darren again. Darren's still running 5th overall, second in his class. See, comes up on Dog here. Dog many positions back of him, a couple positions back of him. Dog gives him plenty of room to get by. Dog in 7th overall, second in his class. He's got to be proud of the run he's made here today, coming off of a great week last week. Backing it up here with a 2nd place in his class today in the Cadillac CTS. Doing a heck of a job. heck of a piece of driving work out there, dog. Good job. All right, 30 minutes left in the race here today, so I wanted to go back a little further here. Jeffrey Belt, man, the wonder here today. I wonder how he has got this thing back up into the racing position that he has got this in. Running fourth in his class, but 8th overall, coming back from such a big tumble there after running in about second or third pretty much the first part of the race. As you can see, that car is really beat to crap. And I'm hoping we get the chance to talk to Jeffrey afterwards. Yes, he is in TeamSpeak, so hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him after the race and ask him what happened there. Behind Jeffrey, we've got Matthew. Looks like Matthew may have taken his car behind pit road. He will still win the top of his class, but he is off track right now. He was running the all-wheel drive rough. Jimmy Eifling. What's left to say about Jimmy? He just puts it down every week. He is just there and races well. Man, he's a good driver. All these guys are good drivers. You won't find any bad drivers here at the Dogs of Endurance. All these guys are, that's why they're so good. They're set here for the endurance racing. 2.5 hours of racing. This is amazing. They've talked about doing a 5-hour event, and I don't know if I'll have to talk to Dog afterwards and see if that's going to transpire or not. I'd still like to do one of them. Be a long, grueling one for me, but I think I could do it. Might even be able to find some help doing that. All right, 8 cars left out on the track. Darren Kuhn in 5th, second in his class to Brian Herring. Those two are the only two left in the class running the rough track model. As he comes around the hairpin. Lewis Van in 4th. Third in his class in the BMW. Marcus Kramer in 3rd. Marcus got a little damage on that car now. I don't know what Marcus hit, but boy, he's got a little damage on that left front corner. Buckled the fender up and the hood. Alba Norberg. Running second, top of his class though in the BMW today. Been up here pretty much all day long. See him in there wheeling that thing. Of course, our leader up front, Ryan Herring, in the rough track model. Oh man, he has just dominated this race today. He has led all but 5 laps out here. Definitely top of his class of the field by far. Albin Norberg though, doing a great job staying on the same lap with him. Them two are the only ones on the same lap. But I would say probably by the time this is over, Ryan's going to be probably getting close to lapping Albin Norberg. For some reason, these static cams don't work worth a darn. Not sure what happened to them. Well, what we could do is we could try a different one here. This one might be a little different. I'm not sure. Maybe a few different camera views. There's a good blimp view. Kind of shows you how the track's laid out, where everybody is pretty much around this track. Our leader coming down the long straightaway here. Coming up on Jimmy Eifling to put Jimmy Eifling another lap down. Brian Herring, not giving up though. I mean, he is not backing off any at all. Wants to try to maintain as many seconds ahead of Albin Norberg as he can. Now 48.6 seconds ahead of him. Not sure what all's in this camera pack. Not much. I still like yours better, dog. I just wanted to try this. Yeah, I like yours a lot better. This has got some different camera views in it, but it's pretty cool too. This was in that pack that you gave me long ago, the all different cameras. It's pretty cool. $20, coming down to the 20-minute mark. Dog back here in 7th. Right behind him, Jimmy Eifling in 6th. And right behind him, Lewis Van in 4th. Them three kind of having a little on-track battle here. Jimmy Eifling getting by Dog. And Lewis Van trying to get by him as well, and he does. So good clean passing by these guys. Good racing, Dog. You definitely, man, you're a class act, I gotta admit. Definitely a class act. Glad that you're a friend of mine. And I'm gonna get all teary-eyed. Nah, I'm kidding. You're just a good guy, man. Good guy. All right, let's go back here. Jeffrey Belk still running in 8th. In the BMW, he is running 4th in his class, 8th overall. Darren Kuhn in 5th, second of his class to Brian Herring, but running 5th overall. Man, he's having a great race today. Coming up on Dog to put Dog, go by Dog, not to put him a lap down, but Alba Norberg out here in 2nd, and he's 49 seconds behind our leader. I'm going to switch back over to your camera pack, Dog. It's actually, you know, I don't know. I didn't even try this one out yet. This could be a nice one too. I'm not sure. Usually some of these ones here are pretty decent. I like the dynamic TV. They're pretty cool. I wish I knew how he did that. Because he does a great job when he makes them camera packs with the dynamic TV in there. It's amazing. But Alban Norberg still hanging on, 49 seconds behind our leader. Doing a heck of a good job up there, man. I'm telling you. Really impressive. Marcus Kramer in 3rd. Still hanging on in 3rd. That's overall. 2nd in his class in the BMWs. So the BMWs have really been really strong here today. I got to admit, you guys have kind of sold me on it. The BMWs are pretty strong. Like I said earlier, the Everybody's been telling me they're easy to drive, they're fun to drive, they hook up really well at all these road courses. So I'm kind of like to maybe even go out and try it. I think it'll be kind of fun. The leader not far behind him, coming up on him. Brian Herring, our leader, has led 93 laps here today. Man, just amazing. That's a lot of laps at this course here to run in 2.5 hours. Still got a few laps to go here. He could possibly run he could possibly run 100 laps. So because they still got a little less than 15 and a half minutes of racing to go, and he only needs 6 more laps. I'm sure he can run 6 laps in 15 minutes. Brian Herring, man, what a job he has done today. Very proud of him. Lewis Van in 4th. Lewis running 3rd in his class in the BMWs. Jeffrey Belk in 8th. Jeffrey 4th in his class in the BMW as well. As you can see, he had a lot of damage on that car. Darren Kuhn back here, 2nd in his class to Brian Herring in the rough track version. Darren having a great run out here today. I think he's going to be proud of that run, 2nd in his class. I've seen Darren run a whole lot here with the dogs, but the times that I've seen him run, he's ran pretty well, and I think he's backed that up by running it pretty good today. Jimmy Eifling, top of his class in the Cadillac CTS. Sounded earlier like he had dropped a cylinder or something, but back out here running. 13 minutes left in this race, folks, and a few seconds. Albin Norberg running in 2nd. Now 51 seconds behind our leader. Our leader actually not really all that far ahead of him. Albin having a great day out here today. Can't wait to talk to him after the race. Top of his class in the BMWs today, and I'm sure he's going to have nothing but good to say about these cars. He has been hooked up all day long running up here. He led about 5 laps of the race there when Brian Herring pitted, but then after Brian pitted, then Albin had to pit, so that put Brian back out in the lead. But good job by Albin today. Doug, 2nd in his class in the Cadillac CTS. I don't see any damage on that car either. He probably pretty much ran an incident-free race today. Or he is second in his class, 7th overall. Got to be proud of that. I'm proud of you, buddy. What can you say about Brian Herring? Just an amazing, amazing driver. Glitch there for a second. If you guys caught that or not, but it was just a little glitch. I don't know if that was an iRacing or what it was, but that was kind of strange. Hopefully that didn't affect any of the drivers. All right, coming down to 10 minutes left in this race, folks. 2 hours and 35 minutes, let me say that correctly. They had a 30-minute open qualifying session, which went real well. I think Dog's got that worked out pretty well. That's pretty cool. That's kind of like their practice / qualifying. Albin Norberg not a whole long ways away from being lapped down, but I don't believe there's enough time for a leader to get up here and lap Albin Norberg. Albin's 52 seconds behind the leader, but that still leaves him quite a mile. Probably close to a minute ahead of him, I think. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe 30 seconds or so. Yeah, probably about 30 seconds ahead of him. So, and as good as Albin's been running here, I don't think our leader's going to close up on him that fast. Brian Herring quite a ways back behind him, so. And actually, if you look at it, the fastest lap Brian's ran today was 1:22. Albin Norberg ran 1:22. So they're running pretty equal laps. Oh, and Albin slipping. Saving it though, didn't hit anything. Good job, Albin. Matthews still running back here in 9th. Now getting passed up by Albin Norberg. Jimmy Eifling in 6th. Top of his class. Man, he has run so good today. I think we're going to probably here in about another couple minutes, we're going to get up here on our leader and stay with him all the way to the end. run around the track here one more time. Albin Norberg leading his class, running second overall, top of his class in the BMW. Darren Kuhn, second in his class to our leader, Brian Herring, running fifth overall, running in the rough track. Jeffrey Belt coming back from quite a bit of damage there, running eighth overall, but running fourth in his class today, continuing to race. Good job. Mangled up piece of junk, but he's out there racing with it. That's what you call a dedicated racer. Oh, I think we missed somebody there. Dog running seventh overall, second in his class to Jimmy Eifling. Dog having a good run out there today. Lewis Van, fourth place overall, third in his class in the BMW. Marcus Kramer, third overall, second in his class in the BMW. Matthew Boivier in ninth place, running the rough all-wheel drive. Only one in his class, so he that's left in the race. I take that back. Top spot in his class. Crusher was running that as well, but Crusher fell out or whatever. Jimmy Eifling, sixth, top of his class in the Cadillac CTS, running sixth place overall. Brian Herring, our leader, of course. Right now he's led 107 laps, or 102 laps. 102. Albin Norberg, second place, top of his class in the BMW. Darren Kuhn, second place in his class, running real well here, and he is running the rough track. And back the dog, running second in his class, seventh place overall in the Cadillac CTS. All right, we'll get back to our leader here, and we're going to stay with him. Whoops, right there. We're going to stay with Brian the rest of this race. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Hope you've enjoyed this show, man. This has been a heck of a show out here in front. We'll get a chance to talk to all the drivers that stick around. Hopefully a lot of them do. Looks like we've got Dog in here, Jeffrey Belt, Matthew, Jimmy Eifling, Brian Herring, Marcus Kramer, Darren's in here, Albin Norberg, and Lewis Van. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to all of them here at the end of the race. So stick around, folks, because we do interview all the drivers and make sure that every one of them gets something to say. I don't give any of them any slack. Okay, we should be getting the one to go here in just a second, so stick with us because this is getting interesting now. I want to see where everybody finishes today. Alright, we should be getting the one to go here in another couple seconds. There it is, last lap on the track, as Brian Herring takes one more lap around this big facility. He just passed the start-finish line, so he's got to go clear back around the track here to win this thing today. But man, I'll tell you what, he has drove his heart out today. I hope he's got a lot to tell us here coming up in the interview. I'm looking forward to it. We will definitely get a word in with him first off. We're going to get right down here to the... see if we can watch him coming around here and take this checkered flag for the win today. He has drove it and drove it hard. Brian Herring to the win. Congratulations to our winner, Brian Herring, for winning here at Barber Motorsports Park today. What a race. I'm telling you, he put on a heck of a show up in the front here for us. Great racing and great watching him bring this thing to victory lane. Been amazing. All right, let's jump up here, and we'll just jump up in the room with him, and we'll try to get a word in with everybody. We'll give them a minute here because I know there's still some racers that are coming across the line. We'll wait till they do all cross the line. But it looks like... what we could do is real quick here, let's run down through the results here. Brian Herring, of course, our winner overall, running the rough track. Very good job by Brian, led 106 laps here today at Barber Motorsports Park. Top of his class, bringing home the win for that class and overall. Albin Norberg, top of his class in the BMW, the new car that just came out last week. Great job by him. Congratulations, coming home second overall. Marcus Kramer in the BMW as well, coming home third. And Louis Van in fourth in the BMW, third in his class. All right, Darren Kuhn, fifth overall. And he was running the rough track, so he finishes second in his class to Brian Herring. Jimmy Eifling, Cadillac CTS, top of his class, finishing sixth. Dog in the Cadillac CTS, finishing second in his class, seventh overall. Jeffrey Belk, fourth in his class. In the he ran the BMW, had a little trouble there at the beginning of the race, and wound up finishing in eighth. Matthew Boivier in ninth, top of his class, finishing in the I think that was the rough all-wheel drive. Kevin Smith out of the race early, finishing 10th. Anchin in 11th, and Crusher finishing 12th. So, but anyhow, congratulations to our winner here, and let's jump up here, see if we can get a word in with him.
Kevin.
Hello, Rudy.
Brian Herring, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Wow, great racing out there today, Brian. Congratulations on your win overall. Top spot in the race and on the track. Tell us about your racing and how that car felt out there for you today.
I just had to run really fast because both Alvin and Kevin were super fast all day. The track was a little bit warmer than what we've been practicing at, so we were all a little bit slippy and slidey, but just a long race. Try to keep the same pace all race.
Absolutely, yeah. 2 hours 35 minutes. You think that's a good length of track, good racing for endurance racing, or would you like to see more?
I think at my age, I don't know if I can do much more than that. I know my back is killing me right now, my legs, but I just wanted to thank my wife, my kids for letting me go, because halfway through the race she gave me the thumbs up so I could continue and finish the race. I'm just glad my body held out.
Well, I think we can all attest to that. But great race out there today, Brian. Glad to see you bring this thing home. You had some pretty tough customers behind you. Albin keeping the pressure on you throughout that whole race. hopefully we get a word in with him here in just a minute. But great race out there today, Brian. And you want to say hello to anybody?
Yeah, just my wife, and thank you, Rudy, for sitting around for all 235, because I know that's a long task for us, and I'm sure it is for you too. And thanks to Michelle for hosting all this. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thanks, there, Brian. Yeah, my voice is about gone. So, and I got another race to call tonight. So, but anyhow, great job out there, Brian. Congratulations.
Thank you, and I really appreciate it, Rudy.
Sure thing. Albin Norberg, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Albin, you kept the pressure on Brian there. You led about 5 laps in the race, so good job. You finished top of your class in the BMW. How did that car feel out there for you today? Because I know it's a brand new car for all of us, and we had 4 guys out there running it today. How did it feel for you?
It felt good. I could keep the pace up. And then I started doing mistakes. I racked up my incidents, but until that point, it went great.
Well, it looked like a lot of fun. You kept that thing pretty much incident free all day today. It looked like the top 3, I think the top 3 guys, or well, no, maybe just the top 2, I think went incident free or something there. But anyhow, great job out there today, Albin, keeping the pressure on Brian. You got a chance to lead a little bit, and the BMW definitely, I think I've heard a lot of good things about it. They say it's easy to drive. It hooks up really well. How did you feel that it ran on the track today?
It was a bit warm, but so it wasn't that grippy, sliding a bit, so I had to adjust my setup in the qualifying. And when you were about to lap other cars, it felt really, when taking other lines in dirty air, it felt really loose sometimes.
Oh.
So it was definitely a challenge to race.
Okay, I see. Well, so not friendly to dirty air. Okay, that's a good note for all of us to keep in the back of our minds, But great race out there today, Albin. Man, oh man, I'll tell you, you put on a heck of a show. Watched you. Good paint job on that car, by the way. Looks nice.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. And you want to give a quick shout out to anybody or a thank you?
I want to say thank you to everyone in this league coming to this race, and for Michelle for hosting.
All right, Albin, thank you for talking with us. I kind of just wanted to run down through real quick here. I'll catch Darren because he finished second in his class, and then we'll go to Marcus. But Darren Kuhn, if I say that right, you finished.
That's close enough, Rudy.
Okay, you finished second in your class, 5th overall. How was your racing for you today?
Well, I raced the BMW yesterday, so it was a little bit of a switch going into the Porsche, but it was good, a little bit loose in the beginning, so I had to do some adjustments on traction control and some ABS, and I got a little more under control, but tried to race a pretty conservative race, but those corners caught me a little bit, so I had a pretty high incident count, but it was a fun race out there, and really great to the give and take, and some good racing with everyone.
Absolutely, that's kind of something that I like to hear out of the racers out there. The give and take. We see that week after week on these tracks, and I see everybody giving room to the faster cars, and that's what it makes for or takes to have a good clean race in these road courses. You got to pick and choose your place to pass. Don't try to pass somebody in a corner if you can help it. And but yeah, I agree with you. A lot of give and take, and it works out great, But congratulations on your second spot in your class, 5th place overall, Darren. And you got anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank Michelle again for all the work he does to keep this thing running, and all the racers that come out to these events, and yourself for broadcasting and hanging in there with us. And that's who I want to talk to today.
All right. Well, thank you, Darren. Appreciate that very much, and I'm sure Dog does too. But we will see if we can get a hold of Marcus here. Marcus Kramer, you there? I think he might have left, didn't he? Yes, he did. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to Lewis. Lewis Van. You got a copy?
Indeed, I do.
Lewis, tell us about what happened there, because you got loose in, I believe, loose in one of the corners or something there, and got some damage. Had to get on pit road and get it fixed up, and still come marching back up the field to bring it home 8th overall. Finished 4th in your class. Tell us about that.
Well, I was just coming around the bend, dropped the tyre onto the grass, and round she goes. A little bit of front end damage, got a tow back to the pits, sat there for about a minute, and got back on the track. The car was absolutely fine. It felt like it was brand new.
Yeah, it didn't look too bad, just a little bit of nose damage on it, but you come home 4th in your class. How does that make you feel for your, I don't know, is this your first race with these guys?
Yeah, it's debut race. I did the Greyhound 300 with these guys last weekend, but this is first race. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Just consistent laps. I was going to come in 4th anyway. If I had a bit more time, maybe I could have given Marcus a run for his money, but way it goes.
Well, you come back up through the field pretty quick, and I got to give my hats off to you, man. You drove the wheels off of that thing today to get it up into the place that you finished. But how did you feel the driving, or the respect out on the track was, and around all the other cars?
Oh, it's amazing. These guys are so courteous when it comes to letting the slower cars through. I think I went by dogs something like 10 times. It was quite phenomenal. He just pulls to the side and, yeah, keep going. All part of it, I guess.
Well, we talk about this a lot week after week, Lewis, that, it's not, you don't have to finish on the same lap. It's all about position against drivers that are in your class. You could be 10 laps down and finish 2nd overall, but it doesn't matter how many laps you were down. So, but great run out there today, Lewis. I mean, I watched you quite a bit today, and man, I'll tell you what, you were definitely coming back up through the field. So, great job today, bringing home 4th in your class. And you want to give, or 3rd, I'm sorry. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Oh, a few people. I want to give a shout out to my roommates mainly, who can put up with me speaking quite loudly to everyone on TeamSpeak. It's 3:23 in the morning here, so yeah, a bit of a shout out to them. Shout out to Michelle and all the guys from the league. I mean, it's amazing the effort that they all put in. I've been talking to Michelle all week, and it's just amazing.
All right. Well, thanks for talking with us, Lewis, and great race out there today. Good job, man.
No problem.
Okay, Jimmy Eifling. One of my favorites out here. Man, you come home top of your class, 6th overall in the Cadillac CTS. Tell us about your racing out there today.
It was pretty good. Car was a little tight versus what I had when I ran the 5-hour race yesterday. Because I pretty much tried to use the same setup. The car was a little tight, so I had made some little tweaks in qualifying, and that still wasn't enough to get it the way I wanted it. But it was drivable. I wasn't putting the laps in like I really wanted, but main thing is to get to the finish, and class win, 6th overall, I'll take it.
Well, it looked like a heck of a job you did out there. How did the Cadillac feel out there in the different weather now? The guys are saying it was a little bit warmer out there than what you guys had ran earlier. How did it feel? Did it make that much of a difference in your car?
Yeah, because the car didn't want to turn.
Yeah.
I thought it was bad yesterday, but it was worse today. But like I said, I made some changes in qualifying, and it got it to a point where I could drive it. And once I kind of we got in the race, I just decided to keep it like it was instead of making any changes, because sometimes if you make changes, it makes it worse. So I just kept it with the settings that I have for qualifying and just ran with it. The hairpin, that's the one that makes me nervous, because no matter how many times I've ran over 300 laps now, and every time I hit that hairpin, I still get nervous, because the caddy just has a mind of its own. It just wants to, you're sitting there braking, trying to go to the left, and the rear end's going to the right. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's just part of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, great racing out there today. I watched you quite a bit today, Jimmy, and in that Cadillac CTS, these are the kind of tracks that car's made for, and you proved that you could hang right there with the best of them, and brought it home top of your class. That's a great feat in itself, and a way to show that the Cadillac CTS can run so good here at Barber Motorsports Park.
Oh, it's a fun car. It was a little weird driving it this weekend because it has traction control on it now, and so it was a little awkward to me driving it because it wasn't trying to get out from underneath me. So tonight I may turn the traction control off.
Oh, okay.
Kind of could make it a little more drivable because it was almost, for lack of a better word, it was a little too sterile for my taste.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good job out there anyhow, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your first place finish in your class, 6th place overall, and you got anybody you want to give a thank you out to?
Just thank Michelle and all the guys, for being here today. Michelle for all the work he does on the league, and you for putting this on internet TV for us.
All right, Jimmy, thank you for talking with us, buddy. Good job
All
out
right.
there.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All right, Dog, I'm going to get you, but Jeffrey, don't you leave, Jeffrey, because I got a lot of questions for you, buddy. But, Dog, tell us about your racing out there. You come home 2nd in your class, 7th overall. Tell us about your racing on the track today.
Well, all through the week I was practicing and tuning the car, and I was tuning without ABS, tuning without traction control, because the Cadillac didn't have it until this build, this recent build, so that's what I felt more at home with. And I figured, you know what, for the start of the race, I'm going to add it on just to give me that little bit of a safety gap, because that's generally what I do, like all the other vehicles. Same thing I did with the BMW last night. I tuned it without it, then I threw a little bit on for both of them, and ran beautifully. Tried it with this, and it just got squirrely at unknown times. Like I just let off on the gas, and all of a sudden it would kick off to a different direction. It was just all over the place. And about 3/4 of the race, I'm like, wait a second, I enabled ABS and traction control. Let's try disabling it. And from then on, I had no issues. So I don't know. There may be some glitch with the traction control and or ABS right now, where, like Jimmy was mentioning, he had ABS and traction control on as well, and it would just randomly skitter out one way or another with no warning. So I'm wondering if that might be an issue. Otherwise, it was a good run. I know I was a couple of seconds a lap slower than pretty much everybody else, so I just kind of ran my race, wanted to do the laps, and tried letting everybody by that I knew was going to pass. So it was a good race. I'm really happy for the turnout. Like, we had 13 people in here, I believe. Yep, 13 people, and even last night's race, which was our first 5.2 hour race in the league, which we're going to be holding every week. We actually had 7 people show up for the very first race of it, so that's looking positive. It's more than what we averaged for our entire first season per race, so things are looking up.
Very good, very good. Yeah, definitely. I've kind of been pushing on it that this is one of the cleanest racing leagues out there that for road courses that I've seen. How much respect there is on the track, and I want to push that. That is a major issue on a lot of races, and as well as I do, finding the respect out on the track amongst drivers. It's virtually almost impossible. They want to take, and there's no giving. And I seen you get a good many times pulled, way down on the inside to let somebody by. You got to think about things like that. If you give the person plenty of room, he may do that to you sometime when you got a faster car and going to go by him. So them are the types of things that the drivers have to think about racing in a league like this. If you're going to give, if you're going to take, you better expect to give a little bit here too. So, but great racing out there, Dog.
The other thing too, in which you're not very privy to while you're doing the broadcast, and nobody else is when we're racing, is we have our own private TeamSpeak server, and it's just going non-stop for the entire race. People saying, okay, gonna pass you on the left, or I'm coming up on your right, or oops, I spun, watch out, or something like that. Communication is a very, very important thing, and with the communication comes the respect, because people realize, hey, you're letting them know what you're doing, so if they're letting me know, why not let them know? And since we want to stress safety as a primary aspect of the league, it's right in the main description of the league that we want to stress safety over position and actually have a nice, clean league. Yes, there is overall position, there's class wins and all that, and the point system that's slowly being reflected of your points and position, but the main primary focus is to make sure that everybody races cleanly. So
Right.
if you can't have a league that has people wrecking without that respect, or with that, I got that mixed up. If people don't give the respect, you're not going to have the clean racing.
Right.
So the respect kind of goes hand in hand with the safety basis of what we try doing in the league.
Right. Well, that's kind of my pet peeve too, in a lot of the league races that that we put on. That communication is everything out there on the track. You've got to let the guy know your intentions. Whether you're going to pass him on the left or pass him on the right, or if where you're going to pass him on the track. Let them know that you're coming up behind them, because sometimes some drivers are not aware of where you're at in relation to them, and maybe they didn't look in the rearview mirror at that very second, and that means a lot. Communication, I think that's like 90% of what has to happen out there for respect on the track.
Most definitely. Most definitely, because just in case that guy's, maybe he's looking at his fuel levels to see if he's going to need to pit that next lap or something, and he doesn't notice that guy snuck up on him.
Right.
Where communication comes in is, hey, I'm coming up on you, pass on the left.
Right.
It goes, oh, okay, and then it avoids a lot of wrecks that could happen. Sure, there are always going to be little incidents here and there that are unavoidable, or something just happens. Like, I believe Jeffy there had a hardware issue where I think his wheel and pedals just, the computer didn't recognize it and thought it disconnected for a second, and then he had to get it reconnected. So things happen. Otherwise, yeah, I definitely want to give a great thanks to you for sitting around for almost 3 hours here doing our broadcast. I'm pretty sure you're pretty hoarse by now.
I'm getting there.
With all the talking. I got to thank all of the league members for participating, showing up. We got our own league forums that there's lots of communication going back and forth, suggesting this, that, and the other thing to see about trying to make the league better. We're already starting to work on new things for next season, and we're only on the first week already, so communication is key everywhere. Lastly, other than the league members that make this league what it is, and you for doing the broadcasts, I also want to give a small shout out to Blue Flag Racing, who has offered to sponsor us for this season as well. So a great thanks to them.
All right, very good. Thanks for talking with us, Dog. And again, congratulations, coming home second spot in your class and 7th overall. Great race.
Thank you.
All right, the only other one I wanted to talk to, I believe the only one that's left in here to talk to, Jeffrey Belk. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Jeffrey, did you get figured out what the problem was with your hardware?
No, worst possible thing that could happen. Turns 5 and 6, steering column broke, and accelerator stuck at the same time.
Oh, I noticed that, man. I was like, man, you were up there and you were like, I believe, in 3rd at the time overall.
Yeah, I think it was 4th. I know me and Marcus was having a good run there. We were between a second and a half for the first 14 laps, and just unfortunate on my part that happened.
That was crazy, Jeffrey. Man, I thought, oh no, I knew something had to have happened, like with your wheel or something come unplugged or whatever. But yeah, these are the types of things though that we have to endure when we're out there racing. You just never know. I've heard everything from a cat jumped up in front of my screen and I couldn't see, to my wheel come unplugged, I lost connection. I've heard a lot of different people having different issues, but it's the type of things that we have to endure out here when we're turning laps. And when you're out here in a 2.5 hour race, there's a lot of things can happen in that 2.5 hours, So, but great race out there. You come all the way back up to 8th overall, because a few other guys that had dropped out, but finished 4th in your class. Great run today, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
You got anybody you want to say thank you to?
Michelle for running the league, all the members of the league for letting me continue to run week after week, even though I haven't had the best of luck lately, and also MaxSpeedTV for putting this on every week, week in, week out for us.
All right, well, I apologize for missing last week. I've had a lot of health issues lately, and I apologize for that. That's not any of you guys' concern. That's just things I got to deal with. And I hopefully maybe with summer coming on, the warmer weather, maybe I can get over some of them. I don't know. So, all right, well, thanks for talking with us, guys, and that's going to do it here for the Dogs of Endurance Racing. So we will check out of here, and we will catch you later on this evening for another broadcast. Check us out at MaxSpeedTV.com. Follow us along for the full schedule.